Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at Transformers The Last Knight, Skullitron, and here he is, and you can see he's not a great dragon, but here he is, and he's a dragon. I really do love his face. I absolutely love the face. It just looks so dumb and like doofy. It kind of looks like, I don't know. I don't really have a thing to compare it to, but its mouth can't open. He kind of looks more like a bird, or like, you know, the thing that Omega Supreme fights, that he hatches out of the moon, or that moon or asteroid or whatever. It kind of looks like that, the way its face is or whatever. These little horn things can articulate. His wings, you know, I wish they were attached to his back, not the arms, because it's just really cumbersome, but you know, you can still get some flying pose with it, but it's just really annoying. But everything is just so weird with this guy. Like, you can see his fist right there. There's nothing really to the back or whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and take the sword off really quick of his back, but that just pegs in that little slot right there, that little thin one, that thinner slot, not the big one, but the thin one. But yeah, he just isn't there all together. Like, you flip him over and there he is, and then, you know, just, it's okay. You know, you get articulation because from the tail and the head, because they're the legs of the robot, if you can't tell, with the feet just stuck on top of it. Just, this toy I really, really liked. I love the Skullitron in the movie. I love the design. He looks really cool. And then I got this toy. I was really excited to have it, and then I got it and played with it, and it just, like, whatever. Like, it just really isn't great. Like, I don't know. Let's just start transforming it, and I'll just show you why it's just a real disappointment. So I'm just gonna bring this up just to get it out of the way, and I'm going to. This is somewhat confusing, but just simply like rotate this to one side. And then you'll rotate this, and bring it down to the side. Oops. And then you'll peg them together to form the waist. And then you'll spin the legs forward, and then you'll just bring the feet out, and then put the tail and the dragon head in. But the dragon head has to spin around to a 180 on this side to fit more flush. But there's his legs all done. Really simple. That is one thing I'll give this toy, is that it's really simple. There's not a lot to it. But I'm not going to say it's good, you know. But then you'll just open this up a little bit so you can slide it down like so. And then these little cutouts will mesh with these series of tabs like that. And then on the other side, it'll mesh, so then it forms that complete shape or whatever. Then you take the hands, and you can just put them however you want. And then same thing over there, and get them all straightened out. And then you can do really whatever you want with the wings. You know, you can do whatever you want with them. For now, I'm just gonna put them like that, and just be done. So there he is. It was a pretty simple transformation. It's not really the transformation. I didn't really get the chest thing. I remember when I was playing with it, like, it was just like, I didn't understand how you really pegged it in and everything. But now I get it, and it's pretty simple. It's, you know, just fairly, I would consider it kind of standard. The way the hips and legs work is pretty fun, and I wouldn't say ingenious, but it's definitely a different way of doing it. Bring his sword back in, and just like him, it's all rusted away. And it is this, like, flexible plastic, so it's all bent up now. But it's okay. And I will give this toy that he looks incredible. He looks insane. I absolutely love the head sculpt. This is what sold me on the toy. The head sculpt looks amazing. The guy that sculpted this, and the guy that painted this toy with the copper bronze base, and then the oxidized copper or bronze base, which is the green, looks incredible. And then the detailing is immaculate and looks so incredible. that is one thing I will give this toy, is that it may not be good at anything else, but it at least looks beautiful. And that is one thing that I absolutely love about this toy, and basically sold me on this toy, because I absolutely loved Skullitron in the movie. He looked so cool, just being all rotted away and everything. And then when they made him into a toy, I just loved it. I just loved it, and then I got it and I played with it, and I was like, it's kind of bad, kind of sucks. Because as you've been seeing, I've had to fix the legs, because he keeps like trying to do the splits, because they're just inherently weak. They, because they have to support the full weight of the tail and the head in his dragon mode, it really does a number on his ball jointed hips. So that really sucks. He has limited articulation in his shoulder. Obviously he can move forward and back, but he can't really go out. He does have a not bicep swivel, elbow bend, and it does bend quite a lot, but it's ratcheted for some reason, like a soft ratchet. I don't know why. And then his wrist swivel is attached to the whole back of the claw, so it's just this toy. And then there's no waist swivel. Of course, you get the whole, it being a ball joint thing with thigh swivel plus a ball joint, which I think is kind of pointless in my personal opinion. Thigh swivel or a knee swivel, maybe, that makes that whatever. And then obviously you get a knee bend, but it's limited there to like a little below 90 degrees, and then you have a ball jointed ankle, even though you still don't get a lot, but it's okay. It's not a lot, but it's still okay. And then the head obviously can articulate, and this toy is really tough for me to talk about, because there's so much going on, yet so little going on. Really, he just looks. If you want to get this toy, this is what I would recommend: is that I would find this toy, and then I would find a way to like punch the pin out on the backpack, and get rid of these wings. Get rid of the wings and these rear legs, because really, Skullitron doesn't transform in the movie. He's in it for like 2 seconds just to get killed by Nemesis Prime, and that's his job. And that's what I personally think, is that just take the dragon head, pop it off, because it's just on a ball joint, I'm pretty sure, and knock the pin out of these, and obviously keep the pieces, but do that, and then you have a fairly solid base robot that looks amazing, and, just is Skullitron for the representation of him if you want one. Obviously, if you don't want one, don't buy one. Or if you don't care about having a really good representation, just get him like this. Just leave him like this. But that's just the thing, is like, I'm really so excited for this toy. Like I said, Skullitron was really cool in the movie, so cool in the movie. And then I saw him, and they packaged him in robot mode. Obviously, I think they did that in the last night, I'm pretty sure. And then, I was like, man, that's so cool. Get to have Skullitron because he looks so cool, and everything. And then I got him, and I was like, this really doesn't make any sense, like with the hips and everything, and then the chest splitting and hinging forward and everything. And then the joints started to degrade and everything. And he just really sat on the shelf, and I never really thought about him until, I needed to make this video. I saw him, and I was like, hey, I need to make a video on him. If you really like him, kind of like I do, I would recommend getting him, because at the very least, just leaving him in his robot mode, he is really, really impressive. He does look really, really nice. He is kind of derpy, kind of, with the wings sticking out and the claws or feet or whatever of the dragon sticking out, but he still looks really nice. The paint job and the detailing really pulls this figure or this toy for me, because really, if it was any less like what was it, like Dark Steel or something, the toy that he was molded into, I think, from the regular line, because this was like the Toys R Us exclusive, I think. I can't remember. I think it was. But no matter what, if it was just a regular, I don't know. I think that's what really carries the Dragon Knights from these Knight toys from the last Knight, is that they are incredibly detailed and they're incredibly sculpted, but their dragon modes are just very mid, definition of mid, and their transformations are, I would say, mid as well, almost bad, just for how like weird and wacky, but then they're not done very well. Is that they're really carried by their robot modes, and this guy definitely is the definition of that. And it's just unfortunate that this could have been an awesome toy, for an awesome character, for an awesome design. But yeah, hopefully there's a Studio Series 1 that's way better and has just as much detailing to him as this, but I highly doubt it. But nevertheless, he's not going anywhere, and I still somewhat like him, so, that's really all I have to say. So, till next time, see ya.